Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Kogan. Drip.
Snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go. 2 news stories to cover today. News story number 1. You ready for this? Hey, guys, you remember how it was talked about that Naughty Dog was going to make a full-on multiplayer game? Remember that? Remember how with The Last of Us 2, which now is like an afterthought, no one even thinks about the game. It was, what, 2-3 years ago. Remember how they said that there was going to be multiplayer with that, just like with The Last of Us 1? And then when the game came out, they lied and said, oh, we delayed it so that you can get it later. We're going to make it better. We're going to polish it. So it'll still be coming for free, but it's coming. Don't worry. And then they lied again and they said, oh, well, actually, we decided to make it a full-fledged game now. Therefore, it's no longer coming. It's no longer free. We're going to design it to be its own standalone game, and you're going to have to buy it. So I want to think about the evolution of this narrative. Last of Us 1 comes out. It's a masterpiece, best-in-class, best game on PS3 situation, and it has multiplayer in addition to the insanely good single-player narrative game. It's like the perfect package of a game on PS3 and the perfect way to end that console generation's games. The Last of Us 2 comes out to insane amounts of controversy, insane amounts of polarizing opinions. It's supposed to have multiplayer. We are lied to and told the multiplayer is delayed. We're not told it's coming separate later as another game or whatever. We're told it's coming later. You bought the game. You will still get the multiplayer. That's what we were told. The narrative has shifted so many times that people don't remember. That's exactly what we were told about the launch of Last of Us 2. That you're still getting multiplayer. We're just delaying it to a later date. The single player is coming out first. Okay? Okay. So, you know, we wait for that. And then they announce right in the middle, like after the game came out and it was polarizing. And of course, they used their freaking very, very liberal shifting views and politics to make the game be known as like the best game ever, when in reality it wasn't. Okay. After doing that and essentially saying, if you don't like the game, you're some kind of a bigot, which they outright said on social media, which is hilarious. Then they say, oh, so by the way, that multiplayer is not coming anymore. It's going to be its own standalone game. But don't worry. Since you now love us, since we're the best game maker on the planet, you can trust us that we're going to do a great job. It's going to be the best standalone game, right? And the funny part was, the fanboys loved it. They lapped it up. They went ahead and the next year, they bought The Last of Us 1 again on PlayStation 5. It's literally the same fucking game from PS4 with slightly facelifted graphics. No new gameplay elements. No actual tweaks. All the things they claimed were in it were not. I've watched people play The Last of Us Part 1. It's the same fucking game as The Last of Us on PS4. People are morons and bought it for $70. So everyone ran out and did that, right? Like morons. And then they said, all right, don't worry. The multiplayer game is our next focus. It's coming. Well, according to sources, so this is considered a rumor, The Last of Us multiplayer game is completely on ice. It is not canceled, but they have decided to not even work on development. It doesn't exist. So they're now working on Last of Us 3 and or other Last of Us single player spin-offs. They have completely stopped development on the multiplayer game. So the game that we all paid for when we bought Last of Us 2, that we were promised, don't worry, it's still coming. Then we were lied to. And then they said, oh, we're going to make it its own standalone game, so don't worry. If you love us and you trust us, you know, it's all going to be worth it because that game is still coming, right? We were lied to again because they've decided internally they just don't want to work on it anymore. They feel like they're going to make more money on a single-player game, so that's what they're working on. Isn't that nice? But we're supposed to love Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog because we were told, remember, if you don't like Last of Us 2, you're a horrible bigot. So you better be kissing this ass, right? This big Naughty Dog, two-cheeked ass of goodness. You better say you like the games. You better say this was a good business decision. Because God forbid that you speak up against the almighty Naughty Dog, you're going to be looking like you're a bigot on the internet, right? I mean, what a fucking joke. It's absolutely disrespectful. But the problem is, the mainstream gamer community is just kind of stupid these days and very gullible. And they just put up with anything. Anything that's a PR spin, anything that's a feel-good moment. They don't realize that this company is doing this kind of stuff. So buy Last of Us 2, don't get the full product from what you were promised. Just accept it that you're never going to get it. Be told you have to pay for it later, but it's still coming. Then pay full price for a game that's literally the same fucking game you already had on PS3 and PS4. Nothing new, even though they promised all these new additions. None of them were present in the game whatsoever. It was a complete lie. Okay? Only a graphical facelift. That's it. Still pay $70 for it because you're a sucker. Right? And then, here we are. Oh, well, finally, we're going to get that multiplayer game you promised us like 3-4 years ago, right? No, oh, no. Well, what are you talking about? Well, Last of Us 3 is coming out. Huh? Okay, whatever you say. Yeah, again, keep kissing the ass, keep falling for the marketing tactics and whatever. I don't fall for that shit, you know? I'm pissed. I'm pissed that this company, at one point, was up here. You know, when they were going through the Uncharted series and everything, when Last of Us 1 came out, this was a company that could do no wrong. They were at the top of their game. And all they've done since then is progressively gone down this slippery slope. And yes, I use the word progressively on purpose there as a pun. Progressively going down a slippery slope like this. When you become a company that's more about agendas than the quality of what you're putting out, when your word doesn't matter because everyone just gives you a pass because you're the feel-good company, that's when you've lost your way. Remember when Naughty Dog used to be known for making good games? I remember. It wasn't even that long ago. And all this shit happened since Last of Us 2, and it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, how do you lose your way that bad? How do you direct your company in that direction? It's just, to me, that's dirty. That's underhanded, right? That would be like, you come to DSP Gaming not to watch my content, but because of some drama or something, right? And that's literally what it is. If you're a feel-good gamer, you play and support Naughty Dog. What? What about the games? You ever think about that? Anyway, let's continue on because I don't want to get too worked up. You know, that's probably some of the most worked up I've ever been over the years is talking about Last of Us 2. And what a horseshit fucking rigmarole that was. Alright, anyway, so yeah, don't expect Last of Us factions. Apparently it's not being made. They were working on it and they realized, oh crap, we really don't know what we're doing. And, you know what that tells me? Here's what that tells me. The people that made the multiplayer of The Last of Us 1 don't work for Naughty Dog anymore. They left. That was a long time ago. That was over a decade ago at this point. When they were working on that, they probably quit by now. So all the people that are left, they're inept. They don't even know what they're doing. So they can't make a multiplayer game that's worth playing. So they gave up halfway through. And now they're just going to focus on the next narrative game, which again, they can spin as a hyper-progressive agenda game. And if you don't like it, you're a bigot. So everyone has to buy it and love it, right? That's what we'll be told. So that's going to be fun, right? I just can't wait. Now, hopefully it's not true. Because again, it's a rumor. But man, if it's true, it's just sad that this is the state of modern gaming, that politics have to always be interjected into gaming. I don't like that. I think we should be able to separate politics and gaming, and sadly, Naughty Dog is a company that is forcing us to have politics in our gaming, and that's shame on them. All right? Okay, our other story for today. Ready for this? Listen to this announcement. This just came out overnight. In April 2024, online play and other functionality that uses online communication will end for all Nintendo 3DS and Wii U software. This includes online cooperative play, internet rankings, and data distribution. So, if you're someone who enjoys playing Nintendo 3DS games or Wii U games, you better enjoy your online experiences before April of next year. They will be completely offline forever. And some of the communities involved are freaking out. For example, the Monster Hunter community. If you remember, there's multiple major Monster Hunter installments that are only on the 3DS. And these games lend themselves very much to online co-op play. They're better when you play with friends. Now, you're being told you will never be able to play those Monster Hunter games with friends ever again. It will be completely disabled. You can only play it locally single player. That's it. What about Pokemon games? That when you play them, you get those random Pokemon, what do they call it? You upload a Pokemon, and then you can just get one randomly over the internet, and you don't know what you're going to get. I forget what it's called. There's a word for it. There's a name for it, because I've used it in multiple Pokemon games, right? Guess what? Disabled. There's no online capability ever again. Yeah. Okay? Any game that had multiplayer on the Wii U will be disabled. So if you still own a Wii U and you play Mario Kart, or you know what I mean? You play the old Splatoon, you can't play it anymore. It's done. It's defunct. It's extinct. What about the old Smash Brothers? Done. Can't play it anymore. That whole Smash Brothers that's only 3DS and Wii U will never be able to play it online ever again. No more competition. Yep. It's called Wonder Trade. Thank you, Wonder Trade. Wonder Trade will be disabled. So, very, very deservedly, people are freaking out about this. And they're like, huh? Like, this is only one console generation back, right? The Wii U is the one that came before the Switch. The 3DS, I mean, arguably was the major handheld of Nintendo. I mean, you can say the Switch took over for it, but still, I mean, this would be the equivalent of Sony and Xbox saying we're no longer going to have any support for PS4 or Xbox One. It's just gone now, so all your games are bricked. You know, you gotta play them offline or that's it. Like, huh? That's only one console gen ago. You know, some people were arguing, you know, how is this valid or fair when games on PS3 and Xbox 360 still have online play right now to this day, and that's 2 console gens ago. You know, you're talking 15 plus years ago. Those games still work, but Nintendo just decided arbitrarily we're just shutting down all online functionality for all these games, right? Yeah. So now people are freaking out, and people who want to preserve gaming are actually in panic mode. They're like, so let me get this straight. We have, what, 5-6 months to figure out how to preserve these games? Because a lot of these games, again, they thrive only in an online environment. So how are you going to make it so these games can still continue to be played? In the past, this kind of stuff has happened, and what happened is emulation. People found a way to emulate these games on PC and then have servers and things set up kind of bootleg so that these games could still be played for posterity purposes, which I feel should happen. I'm going to be honest here, yeah. Games like that last Smash Brothers, not the current one, but the one before. I remember buying it. Remember, it was a dual release. First, it was on 3DS, and then like a month later, it came out on the Wii U. So Nintendo basically tricked everyone into buying it twice. You know, you can never play that online ever again against someone. Like, what the hell? That would be like saying you could never play Street Fighter V ever again. We're just shutting the servers down. Oh. Why? Because Street Fighter 6 is out? Yeah, buy 6 or don't play anything. Wow. Right? You can't play your old games. It is done. Retired. Holy shit. And again, I would say a game like Splatoon, that game is 100% online. You know, the campaign is so limited. Did Splatoon 1 even have a campaign? I don't even remember. But I think that's pretty ridiculous. So people are scrambling to figure out how are we going to fix this? How are we going to solve this issue come April when all these games go offline eternally on the official Nintendo servers? I guess we'll have to see, right? Is it even possible? Because Zen Shuriken just made a good point. Can't really preserve online ecosystems when this happens. There's too much effort for people to set it up. Yeah, you got to understand, Nintendo with their ginormous budget of money can set up these servers, but how does Joe Schmo Nobody, who's just someone who's trying to preserve this game, who's a fan, what do you do? Fan funding? Hey, everyone, do a GoFundMe for the Monster Hunter fan server so we can continue to play Monster Hunter 3 and 4 online with each other, because outside of that, the game's dead. I know, it's ridiculous. Why would they do that? But you know, I hate to say it, this is sadly one of the shortcomings of games that have basically complete online existence, right? When you're a game that's 100% online, you're always at the mercy of the company that made the game to decide if they want to continue to support it or not. And the moment that they feel their priorities have shifted and they want to put their time and resources towards something else in the future, you get forgotten. You're the community that will get brushed under the rug. And that's really sad. Because again, imagine if old Street Fighter games didn't have the support that they get so that they could be played online without the support of Capcom. There'd be entirely forgotten Street Fighter games right now that don't get played. Seriously. Because Capcom doesn't care. They haven't even put out like a good collection of their classics in ages. It's really the fans doing things like Fightcade and stuff that keep the spirit of the classics alive. And so, it's just kind of crazy. Lady Charisma says, it took years and a ton of work for fans to make Wii Online play work again. I really feel, especially Nintendo fans, let's be honest here. Nintendo fans are some of the most dedicated fans on planet Earth. They are crazy for Nintendo. And even though I'm sure they'll find a way to spin this into that it's not Nintendo's fault, it is Nintendo's fault that they're doing this. I'm sure they're going to find a way. Like they say, life finds a way. Right? So either they'll be playing Monster Hunter and Splatoon and doing their Wonder Trades online, or dinosaurs will rule the earth again. One or the other. One of those things is going to happen. So we have to guess which is more probable. I don't know. I'm leaning a little bit more towards dinosaurs at this point, but you never know. With the ecosystem of Nintendo fans, it may still happen. Anyway, it is what it is. It sucks. Obviously, if you're a huge Nintendo fan and you're still playing those legacy games, sorry. But it's coming, and sadly, it's just inevitable. All right? Now, that is it for DSP News for today. Thank you for watching.
I got the drip going. 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 I got the drip going.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.